Have you even spared one moment to think about how completely destroyed the billionaire ghouls of New York City must be feeling right now? I get that it definitely took a lot of hard work, but in the end, Zohran just completely dominated Cuomo. I mean, he turned their boy into a political shapeshifter, even though, throughout all of his forms, that dead look in his eyes is a pretty big giveaway. And you already know that if Count Cuomo over here could have managed to win the race, he was planning on bringing his coffin to the mayor's mansion and going unseen for 4 years. Like, he would have been less available than late-stage Joe Biden. And it still blows my mind that Mamdani's primary victory got this 70-year-old man to completely change his public persona. And finally, Cuomo's nightmare is now over. He no longer has to pretend to be some confused version of himself that he thinks we want him to be, when really we just want him to go away. I hope he finds whatever it is he's looking for out there in Florida. And with Bill Clinton's Nepo hire finally vanquished, that leaves us to figure out what comes next. And I think there's a lot to be positive about. A lot of people voted for Mamdani, and it goes to show that most people, in fact, do not think that his policies are a pretense for a secret Muslim communist takeover of New York City. Like, if Zohran had managed to win, but destroyed his reputation in the process, the billionaires would have gotten what they wanted, because they don't really care who's in power, as long as that person is super ineffective. This is the standard political baseline that these cynical politicians welcome. This, like, circular nightmare where people like them less so they get less done, and then expectations lower and shit gets even worse. And it feels like that cycle was just absorbing everyone and everything for decades. And what's made Zohran so interesting to me is that he seems to be using the opposite cycle of positive momentum so effectively against his enemies. And Zohran owes his supporters everything. I mean, none of this would have been possible without them. But if we're being 100% honest, this whole movement will only go as far as Zohran allows. I mean, look at Barack Obama.
Thank you. Thanks for your service. Welcome back.
Dude got to Washington and just completely forgot about who put him there. Like, he didn't want his supporters' help. He thought it was going to fuck up his reputation with his friends, I guess. The fate of New York City really just depends on if this one guy can maintain his integrity. Because if Obama taught us anything, it's that even when the whole country is behind you, it's still way too easy to switch up once you actually have the power.
Thank you.
And all the millions of dollars that were being thrown at Andrew Cuomo, or being thrown at Eric Adams to drop out of a race, now all of that is going to be aimed directly at Zohran. And there is an ungodly amount of money in the business of corrupting people. I just saw recently how CoffeeZilla in his new video talked about how some people involved in sports gambling tried to bribe him multiple times, once with $1 million offer. So if YouTubers are getting $1 million offers to not talk about one thing, can you imagine how valuable compromising Zohran would be to these people? But I really hope that isn't what happens. When you're trying to fight back against the most powerful people in the world, it's reasonable to hope that your operation doesn't end up in shambles. I'm open in my hope that Zohran will not be a cynical, bad faith actor. That instead he continues to embrace that rare, mythical, positive political cycle that can actually enable someone to get some pretty amazing stuff done. I mean, that's what everyone says that guy LaGuardia was like as mayor. And everyone says he's the best ever. So, now on the other side of Zohran's victory, we should definitely take a moment to celebrate. We might be truly looking at the dawn of a new age of politics. That, or we're looking at Obama 2.0.
Thank you.
I know, I really hope that's not the case.